All right, folks, check this out. Jimmy Kimmel just responded to Donald Trump and Melania Trump after they called for his firing. They demanded that Disney and ABC step in and terminate his contract. And I am very happy to report that Jimmy Kimmel did not back down. He didn't bend the knee. He didn't capitulate. And I wasn't expecting him to, but his response was perfect. It was classy. And he made sure to throw some punches at Donald Trump while doing it. So I want to read you his full statement from his segment last night. And I think the Daily Beast puts it perfectly. A defiant Jimmy Kimmel goes nuclear on Trump and Melania, but we absolutely have to start with what they said. This statement from Melania Trump yesterday kind of came out of nowhere. It was like a left field statement. There wasn't any expectation that Melania was doing this. There was no leak that she was putting out this statement. It just kind of happened. So yesterday at 10:19 in the morning, this tweet went incredibly viral, 18.3 million views at the time of filming this. Melania Trump said, and I quote, completely oblivious to the irony of what she's saying, might I add, quote, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. She is holding a comedian to a higher standard than Donald Trump, the president of the United States, and her husband. She thinks Jimmy Kimmel is worse for this corrosive political sickness in America, as she describes it, than Donald Trump, who has mocked and celebrated the death of political opponents. Okay, Melania. I mean, so out of touch, so oblivious to the irony of what she's saying. This really should be a statement about Trump, not Kimmel, but I digress. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? That atrocious behavior, by the way, is making very mild jokes. That's the atrocious behavior she's describing. Donald Trump joined in later in the day as well, saying, wow, Jimmy Kimmel, who is in no way funny, as attested to by his terrible television ratings, made a statement on his show that is really shocking. He showed a fake video of the First Lady, Melania, and our son, Barron, like they were actually sitting in his studio listening to him speak, which they weren't and never would be. He then stated, quote, our First Lady, Melania, is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow. That's all Kimmel said. That's what they're having a meltdown over, this very, very mild joke. And yet they're demanding that he be fired over it. A day later, a lunatic tried entering the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, loaded up with a shotgun, handgun, and many knives. He was there for a very obvious and sinister reason. I appreciate that so many people are incensed by Kimmel's despicable call to violence. Really? And normally would not be responsive to anything that he said, but this is something far beyond the pale, Trump says. Kimmel should be immediately fired by Disney and ABC. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So much for the First Amendment, right? The federal government using their influence, their power to pressure private companies to fire somebody who disagrees with them. So much for the free speech, First Amendment stuff, huh? I mean, they pretended to care about it in the election. They pretended to be the party of bringing back comedy and making it legal. And now this is what Donald Trump is doing. And it's just everything, quite frankly, embarrassing for them. The fact that they're so triggered and so offended by this. They need a safe space. They're snowflakes. And let me just submit into the record before we read what Jimmy Kimmel had to say, the many disgusting things that Donald Trump has said. I mean, Melania Trump, Donald Trump pretending like they're offended over this mild joke. And yet Trump has said things like, Robert Mueller just died. Good, I'm glad. I mean, really? He also made fun of Rob Reiner, saying that he died from Trump derangement syndrome, when in reality he was murdered in his home. That's what Donald Trump said the day after, not even 24 hours after the murder. Then here's another one where Donald Trump demanded that Democrats be charged with sedition and put to death. He says punishable by death. He also reposted somebody saying, hang them. All right, folks, check this out. Jimmy Kimmel